In today's episode of Manabonded, Nate yells at the barbarian who didn't quite get how a race worked.
You do things that increase your speed. You don't punch people to get faster.
Josh compares the excitement of watching various kinds of grass growing. It's just like watching a drag race between two kids in Flintstones cars. Zack explains the downsides of the USSR's economic strategies.
Logically it works, but realistically not so much.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Manabonded, the Magic the Gathering podcast that's ready to take a nap at any moment. I'm Josh, your host, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Nate and Zack. Say hey, guys.
Hello, and welcome to Manabonded. I'm Zack, not your host, but a co-host of the podcast, and I'm also ready to take a nap.
Yeah,
I am also very sleepy.
I think we've all collectively experienced a long weekend. As far as being busy, I spent the weekend with some family, traveling a lot, traveled all the way back up to Idaho, and it was a lot. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. We just got back into town like an hour and a half ago. We ate dinner, and now I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Woo! Yeah,
I'm glad you made it safe.
Thank you.
That is true. It is nice when friends make a home safe.
I will say, one of the fun things that did happen this weekend, we all went to pre-release for Secrets of Strixhaven, and we all got to go to the same store. So because I was back up in Idaho for the weekend, I decided to meet up with these guys at an LGS in Ontario, Oregon called Pro Soul Games, and we did our pre-release there.
Yeah.
It was...
Come join me at my neck of the
Yeah, we
woods.
did.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun, even if some of us didn't really do that well. Nate, how'd you do? What did...
No, wait.
What?
Nathaniel,
Yeah.
you need to lose 2 life,
Oh,
because
okay.
you just shocked in a stomping grounds, because that's where we came to. Your stomping grounds. All right, Nate, how did you do at the pre-release?
So, at the pre-release, we all went together, which was the Saturday at noon. I went 3-0, baby. Whoop, whoop,
Nice,
whoop.
nice.
What about you, Zach? How do you do?
I chose the lore hold. Also went 3-0 undefeated.
Nice,
So easy.
good job, you guys. Yeah,
Let's
so
go.
how did your games go? Like, what happened in your games there?
Yeah. Wait, Josh. How'd you do, Josh?
Wait. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it, guys.
Oh, fearless leader. How did you do?
It was probably my most embarrassing pre-release ever. I'm not gonna lie. That was atrocious. I didn't even 0-3. I 0-2-1 because I took so long to do anything in one of my games. We ended up drawing. That was just...
They didn't slow play you?
No, like, it just... Our decks just weren't doing anything. It's just like watching a drag race between two kids in Flintstones cars. Alright? Like,
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen for a while, and then one of them might get a little closer to the finish. It was so embarrassing. No, I picked Prismari because I love blue-red, and I really thought it would be fun to try out. And I feel like I got a decent deck, but I think I just didn't play enough creatures. And I just didn't play enough ways to, like, close out games. And every game, I feel like I drew all of my non-creature spells before I drew any of my creatures that would help pay off all of my non-creature spells. And so it was just all backwards all weekend long. Like I said, I went 0-2-1. I think I won a single game out of my 3 matches. It was bad. And then to make matters worse, I almost had to pay for a pity pack because the system got a little confused because I had a draw. But we worked it out. The staff over at Pro Soul are excellent, and they got it all worked out for me. But yeah, didn't even pull anything worth any money, by the way.
Hey, your promo pack, you did pretty good.
Promo pack, I did pretty good. I got a Kodama of the West Tree in the promo pack, which is cool.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. I also pulled the flashback, which was kind of fun. It was kind of cool to play in the deck. It had a couple cool moments. But yeah, overall, no, bad games. Prismari sucked. It really makes me sad, but I feel like blue-red is rarely the go in a pre-release.
Well, this pre-release in particular, we can get into it a little bit deeper if we want to with other things, but from what my vibe, and Zach, you can agree with me, disagree with me, but it felt like white was the powerhouse this set. White with black, white with red, white with black and red. That it just felt so good this time around.
They were pretty good.
But out of all of the mechanics, repartee is by far my favorite for at least the sealed environment.
Yeah.
That mechanic just does so much work. I'm gonna kill your guy and get stuff. I'm gonna buff my guy and get stuff.
Yeah.
It is quite silly.
That's a good mechanic. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that like Lorehold would be probably a good one to try out because Flashback does seem really strong. But I just loved Blue Red and wanted to give it a try. I totally should have gone Lorehold because Zack just crushed it with it.
Yeah.
I should have done that, but oh well.
I was dressed up as Lorehold, so I had to. It was
That's
in my
true.
contract.
I was wearing a pretty Prismari shirt.
Yeah, I was dressed
Very
up
true.
pretty Witherbloomy, but I already did my Witherbloom the night before, and
True.
went 2-1 with that one. Randomly enough, the only person I lost to was a Prismari deck. So
Really?
that was kind of funny. Yeah.
Gosh, maybe you're the problem.
Oh, definitely. Yo, I'm not saying that like Prismari is bad and nobody should do it. I'm just saying I pulled a bad kit and I'm a bad player, so that probably had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet overall the weekend. Out of the 4 sealed events, the only round that I lost was to a Prismari deck, which is a little hilarious to me since it did not seem like the best one for the event.
I think you needed to pull really good stuff in your sealed kit for Prismari to work. Like, I felt like there was a lot of good tools in the set. Like, I pulled a Burst Lightning, which felt really strong. There was a couple other really good cards that I pulled. I got a Flow State, which is a great card that people are loving. But I just felt like I just didn't have enough, I think. And I think I built it wrong. I think I pushed too hard on, like I said, non-creatures and having mana value 5 or greater spells when I could have just put a couple more X spells in the deck, and that would have also done the trick. So yeah, if you're gonna play Prismari in the set, just be careful. Make sure you know what you're doing, because like Nate and Zach said, I think white and black is very strong in this set. So
yeah,
agreed. Should we talk about what we did at the beginning of the pre-release?
Oh yeah, we can totally do that.
What did we do at the start of the pre-release?
A little something, the little baby's cradle, you know, the thing we did with the baby's cradle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the defacing of
our memento.
The defacing of a very expensive Magic card. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about that?
I mean, we can if we want. I wasn't really gonna mention it, but
let's do it. We're talking about it now. I brought it up.
Let's talk about
it. All right. So
we don't talk about Bruno.
I have a guy's cradle, and I wanted to do something to kind of remember this podcast by, because I've had a ton of fun doing it with these two guys, and it's been a great time. Truly, we've had a lot of fun, and I decided that whether or not we continue to do the podcast, which hopefully we will, I think we're all so far in the camp of let's just keep this ball rolling. Whatever happens in the future, I wanted something to remember this podcast by. So I asked Nate and Zach to sign my Gaia's Cradle. Not on a sleeve, directly on the card, so that it is... Basically, I can never sell this card now, because not only does it have a lot of memories attached to it now, but also it's damaged now, and nobody else is going to want it. So
it's if the value is worse or better. I mean... I don't know. It could be more. It could be
currently worse. Currently worse.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're pretty famous.
We did have one of our largest spikes in listeners the other day over on our Spotify analytics. It showed a pretty decent spike the other day, and I'm not sure where that came from, but I'm happy to have it.
The more the merrier.
Yeah.
Yeah. We now have a 1-of-1 Gaia's Cradle.
True.
It's true. It is signed by all of us. Good luck reading our signatures, because the fine tip Sharpie that we wanted to use, you couldn't read at all if we used it. And then the normal Sharpie, it's just kind of hard to sign with and make it legible.
Yeah.
And keep it on the size of a card at least, without going over the rules text.
Yeah. I tried to make sure it was still going to be usable for
Playable, yeah.
like playable in a tournament. Yeah, because I didn't want it to just be totally useless to me now. So it is still technically, I believe, tournament playable. The text box and the name is still there, untouched. We just went over the art and flavor text of it, so it should still be good.
Art is still recognizable, which is a big thing with cards
Yep.
for tournament legality. That's why the border alters are a pretty popular way to alter things, so that way you can keep it tournament legal.
All right, question for you guys.
Yeah.
What is one card that you would want to get altered, and what would you want it altered as? Like if you could have any of your cards altered to whatever specifically you want at this moment, what would you do?
I'm gonna cheat because there's a thing I've wanted to do with alters for the longest time, and it's more than one card, but I think it's hilarious. So are you guys familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Vaguely.
Yes, I am.
Okay. In JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it starts out with season 1 being about vampires. Then season 2 is also about vampires. Then out of there it changes to stands. In season 2, they have what are called the Pillarmen. They are vampires that were trapped in stone for a long time until the Nazis basically broke them out on accident, I think.
So it's still about vampires.
Yeah,
it's still about vampires.
A little.
Yeah. So yeah, in season 2, they let these vampires out, and these are like ancient vampires that have cool powers. The Pillarmen come out of a pillar, and as soon as I saw that, and as soon as Hour of Devastation came out, and the invocation art came out for those 3 gods coming out of that building, I'm like, I want these guys altered to be the Pillarmen. It would be so much fun. Granted, I'm not doing it in invocations because I don't need the altars to be any more expensive than they're already going to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think it would be so much fun to have.
That would be very fun. I'm not sure. If I got a card altered, I would probably want it to be something that I use a lot, like in an Altar of Tayam done. But what? I don't know.
What would you even alter?
Yeah, honestly, if I could...
What spooky nightmare beast do you know?
Really, if we're just shooting for the stars here, I would love to ask Eric Klug, I don't know, to do a stained glass altar of Tayam. And just have Tayam itself be normal, but have the background turned into stained glass version of it.
Man.
Because if you haven't seen any altars by Eric Klug, I don't know, Klug, they're incredible. He is one of the greatest, like, magic card alterists out there, but his altars are worth a pretty penny if you commission him. They can be worth a couple $100 or more, depending on how complicated you ask for.
So, Josh, I'm gonna jump in here right now. My man, that is cheap for altars.
I'm saying like $800 to $900 for an Eric Klug altar.
Okay. Because if you're just on a couple $100, that is cheap for an altar.
Pretty standard.
Most altars, that's like an art altar where you alter just the art for a lot of people.
So real quick, there are some listings you can find on eBay of people selling altars that Eric Klug has done for them. So in the top one, there is a Elish Norn Grand Cenobite. The art has changed and the border has extended, and also there's a bit of the art kind of peeking over the text box. To tell you how much got done to this card. It is being sold for $3,500.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lightning bolt that looks like the edges are currently on fire. A 4th edition lightning bolt, which is fairly cheap, being sold for $2,000. Yeah, Animar Soul of the Elements, done in this crazy psychedelic artwork, going for $4,000.
I'd describe it as like the Quintorius alternate art from Ixalan.
Yeah.
Very, very similar to that, like vibes.
Yeah, it is absolutely crazy.
Dagobah Star Wars altar.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. For swamp, full art swamp.
Yeah,
that's only $3,000 though. Hey, that's a deal.
That's a steal
for a swamp. Yeah,
altars are a thing that I love. I just have only ever got a few through eBay. I think my prized possession, though, is my altar that I have, Skithrix, that is like in my binder, and it's Skithrix altered to be toothless from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes, I love that.
And
that's good.
Yeah, they did the altar that it is the entire border, and then it goes around and his tail covers up a good chunk of the text. So it's a really good done altar. A lot of my other altars are relatively cheap. I have a Sign in Blood one that looks really cool.
Yeah.
But it's done by an altarist who is not quite as crazy with their stuff. I find their stuff on eBay sometimes. But this one has like a 30 Days of Night vibe for the Heartless Summoning. I'm going to send a picture in the chat.
Yeah.
Altars are sick.
So I posted a couple more in the chat. He did an expedition map.
Oh, I was actually going to ask about that.
Yeah, it looks like the map to the Lonely Mountain from The Hobbit. And he even wrote the text out in the Dwarvish script, which is super cool. And then he also did a lightning bolt to look like it's the border of the card is made out of Lego, and the character in the front summoning the lightning bolt is a Lego skeleton. It's super fun, and the depth on that one, it really makes it look like there's just a border of Lego to this magic card. Also, is that a Heartless Summoning with the Witness?
Are you talking about like the Witness from like Destiny?
Yeah, it totally looks like the Witness.
No. This came out before the Witness was revealed. That's why I was saying it's like a 30 Days of Night, because it's got like that kind of like vampire vibe from that movie where the bottom of the face is covered in blood and the eyes are pitch black.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
No, altars are sick. Like I said, I think my dream is to get an Eric Klug altar. Have him do a Tayam in a stained glass portrait.
There's so many altars that I want to get commissioned to do stuff.
To be rich, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Maybe someday.
Someday.
Got a couple questions here that I think we can give some great answers to, some great advice for. You guys want to help people out?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Our first question comes from the competitive EDH subreddit from user UPieLips. I don't know, man. The variety in a lot of username choices astounds me. All they want to know, it's fairly short here. Anyone else starting to get infuriated with the quote, "Yeah, I'm good to concede here"? They say, "I've played 8 games this past week online, and 3 of them, somebody presented a single combo piece, and the other 2 players are immediately like, quote, 'Yeah, I'm good to concede here,' and I have to be like, 'No, play it out. Guys, there is more interaction in this game than counterspells. A combo resolving on the stack does not equal that person has won the game. This is particularly relevant in breach or food chain lines. What you do here is just give the person trying to win so much info that they do not need, that you don't have in anything for one, and that when I say no, let's play it out, it's now pretty inferable that I have interaction that they now know to play around that they otherwise might not have. TLDR, game's not over till it's over. Stop giving up immediately when shown a win con you don't have an answer for." UPieLips, I'm with you here, man. I do not understand people just calling it and saying, "Oh, yep, that's half of a combo. You probably have the rest. I'm good to just concede." Like,
show me the full combo.
Show me the full combo, right? Because it's one thing if it's, I'm going to cast Thassa's Oracle, and everyone's like, okay, hold priority on the ETB, I'm going to cast Demonic Consultation, and everyone goes, yeah, okay, I don't have anything for it, so you can win. That's one thing, right? Because that's pretty cut and dry. As soon as that resolves, if there's nothing more to interact, no more interaction from the table, it's over. But in a breach line or a more complicated win,
or if they just played Thassa's Oracle and you're like, "Yep, we're good," and you pick it up, not even Demonic Consultation.
Yeah, there needs to be some point where you make them play it out, because it's very likely they could screw it up. I mean, Zack, you had this happen in a tournament, right? You told the Lumra player to play it out because you weren't just going to concede and let them have it. And when
I was going to concede and let them have it.
But another player,
100%. Another player said, "Hey, play it out. We got like 30 minutes left." I'm like, "Cool, let's do it."
So, when you played it out, the Lumra player didn't even win.
Yeah, no, it was a whiff. So it is absolutely a thing.
And you really got to take advantage of that with more complicated decks like Lumra, any deck that uses breach lines, food chain lines, Atali decks. If you see a Tayam player, make them play it out. okay? Especially because it'll give you knowledge against the Tayam player for later, right? If you don't understand what's going on, they can completely use that against you, because I'm very sure that there are players out there who will present two cards as if it is a combo, and it will look enough like a combo that a table will concede over it, but it won't be a combo. So
Absolutely.
do be careful about that. Make people play it out. Make people know what they're doing. Oh, Gitrog Monster. That's the big one that I wanted to talk about. The Gitrog Monsters combos are famously convoluted and confusing, so make the Gitrog player play it out, because they might screw it up and then you can win.
Yep, that is very true. But to play devil's advocate as well, I think majority of the time you're probably going to push for people to play it out completely in like a tournament setting.
Mhm.
Or if you're new to CDH and you're learning other people's decks, or like learning how decks work,
Yes.
just so that everybody at the table can know how exactly you're winning, the points that you could be stopped, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think if you're pretty well versed in CDH and you're playing a casual game with your friends, I think it's fine to call it when someone presents it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. There's no like major stakes. You're just playing to play.
Yeah.
I think it's fine to be like, oh yeah, you got it, dude. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's
Shuffle up, play
right.
again.
In a friendly match, yeah, don't worry about it. If you really just want to move to the next game, if you're really getting shafted with your draws and you just don't feel like you're going to have a chance to win, or you don't want to try to claw your way back, that's fine if it's a chill game. But absolutely, in a tournament setting, man, don't just give up because somebody shows you half of a combo or starts to loop through a combo. Wait, because there might be a chance where you can interact or someone else can interact and completely upend it.
I do also think that there is a difference between like what this person's talking about and playing with buddies.
Yes.
Because playing with buddies, I'm cool with conceding a lot easier and moving on to the next game, where this person seems to be playing online with probably randoms.
Yeah.
And
For
that
sure.
makes it a little bit rougher, because in a casual setting, it's frustrating, but that's kind of just how it works. People can just go, yep, I'm good, and we're moving on to the next one.
Yeah, it can be tough.
Yeah.
And I think, especially if you're playing with randoms, definitely for sure make them play it out.
Yeah.
Just because they might not know their combo as well as they think they do. And
you'll learn
or
more
they
from
might
it.
just be lying to you.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's tons
There's
of
no
reasons to not just concede at a moment's
Yeah.
notice, you know?
True that.
You do need to make sure that they present the combo and show that it's actually the combo. Like, go through it at least like once or twice to show that it is actually continuing. And then
Yeah.
I'm usually
Yeah.
going to call it at that point. Once I'm guaranteed to know that it's actually going to be a combo, and like, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. Cool, you got it, dude.
Tournament rules state you can't just play a card and then say, I'm going to loop this. You must present one iteration of the loop, and then if that iteration goes through without anybody's interaction, you can then say, I would like to repeat this loop X number of times. If the whole table lets that happen, the board state is advanced to the point as if that had happened X number of times to the stated end state of the combo. So, you know, I have my Tayam deck. I have a combo where I'm netting, 4 mana and 4 counters and creating a spirit every time I cycle through a creature being sacrificed and reanimated. I can do that loop once, tell everyone I'm going to repeat this 67,000 more times. And it will end up with me having 67,000 extra mana, 67,000 counters on a certain creature or a number of different creatures, and also 67,000 spirits. And once we get to that point, then the game resumes. But at any point in that looping, if somebody says, no, I want to stop it here, you then proceed through the loop to that point and say, I want to respond here. And you need to do that.
Yeah.
Because, again, lots of things could go wrong in the middle of it, and you could very easily still have a window to attack your opponents.
True that. A very notable thing to add in here is it has to be deterministic, because if you're non-deterministic, you can run into issues where it just basically is like, well, how is it going to finish? If it's non-deterministic, you might never get your result you want. Notably, there's a
very good point.
Yeah, there was a very famous legacy combo that was banned part of the time from tournaments because it was non-deterministic
A Four
enough that some
Horsemen
tournament
deck, right?
organizers were just like, no. Yeah, Four Horsemen. What it is use a what's the Narcomoebas?
Narcomoebas, which enter the
Uses Mirror Orb.
battlefield from your graveyard if you've milled them specifically.
Yep.
Mesmeric Orb to mill a card every time you untap a permanent, and Basalt Monolith, which can tap and untap itself, basically netting nothing, but it can do that on its own infinitely.
Mills you once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it mills you once every time. The goal is to get 3 Narcomoebas and a Dread Return. The 3 Narcomoebas in play because you milled them, a Dread Return in your graveyard, and then reanimate particular cards in order to win. And you have an Eldrazi Titan in your deck to shuffle it back up as it goes through.
Yeah, in case you get things in the wrong order.
Right. The upside of that being a non-deterministic is when Sir Conrad got printed, because Sir Conrad made it deterministic, because as those Narcomoebas enter and leave, the board state changes. So now it's deterministic.
That's
fun
really
old things.
What a silly deck.
It is a silly deck. I actually had it last time I was playing Zelix in CDH. I had it in there because all of the pieces are cards that I kind of want to play anyway, aside from the Eldrazi Titan. The Eldrazi Titan was one where I'm just like, I don't really need this.
You gotta shuffle your deck somehow.
Right. But if I mill myself out, then I can reset my deck.
That's true. That's true. Because there was a line in Kinnan where it was like specific things had to happen. You're like you had a way to draw a card, but like no Thrasios or whatever. And like if you had a multiple of 5 plus a 1, so like 36 or like 36 cards in your library, you could non-deterministically shuffle your library to have one specific card on top because you activate Kinnan enough times that eventually the 5 cards you put to the bottom in a random order would be the one that you need to draw.
Funny.
That's crazy.
It's like technically it is possible when you have infinite mana, so you can do it, but you don't know when it will happen, so you can't really shortcut it as easily.
Yeah. And then you get slow play.
Logically it works. It works, but realistically not so much.
I also think he makes a good point here, this user, where they say that you're giving them a lot of information that they wouldn't have had otherwise. Because oftentimes people will hold back this interaction, this protection for their combos, because they're worried that you might have interaction, and they might play things in a slightly different order if they're worried about being interacted with, versus if they think they're safe. If they think they're safe, they may not take the precautions they need. Like if they have a Ranger Captain of Eos that can sacrifice to protect their win for that turn, but they think they're safe, so they just go for it. If you're telling them, oh yeah, we're good, let's just go ahead and concede now, and one player says, no, let's play it out, it's exactly like it says. That player has just held up a great big neon sign that says, hey, I have interaction for you. So it just complicates everything and gives them a bunch of information they don't need to have. And giving out free information in CEDH is absolutely crazy. Do not give out free information. Be very cautious with the information you do give out and what actions you are taking that is giving that information to people.
Yeah, and casual, it's still a good practice to not give out extra free information.
It's true.
That's why we talked about before about the priority and making sure you go through priority so people are doing things at the right times.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And bluffing is absolutely a thing. I mean, somebody like, when I'm like, walk me through it, like, and then it makes them kind of a little bit like sweaty a little bit. They're like, oh, what do you mean walk me through it? Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like, I have interaction. You gotta go through it.
Yeah. Like, you don't know my hand, play it through.
And sometimes I say that and my interaction doesn't even like matter. Like it's not gonna change anything, but I could still like do it. And so that's still interaction.
Yeah.
I'm not lying to them. I have interaction. I have a way to stop or like to do something. I don't know. And it could like help push the nerves, especially in like more of a like finals or top 16. Like it could easily kind of make them mess up or overthink their plays, and any advantage you can get is an advantage. So no reason not to.
Just don't give out free information and don't quit till it's over. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah. Our second question here comes from the r/EDH subreddit. from another returning user, Ryuzio. Still
Whoa.
not sure why you chose the lowercase o, uppercase O, and a 0, all one after another. We got to have a talk.
We should actually change our usernames to have zeros at the end of ours.
But then we lose
That
the
way we
shark
can,
monsters we're using.
That way we can be like Hopper in The Fox and the Hound.
True.
That would be fun. Anyway, Ryuzio posted feeling deflated after LGS tournament. And because this was posted in the r/EDH subreddit and not the CEDH subreddit, I bet everybody knows where this is going. This is a long one, so hold on to your butts.
Let me hold on a second. All right, I'm buckled up. I'm
Good.
ready to go.
Yeah, I was about to like,
right.
Buckled in. I'm ready.
So, Ryuzio says, "Hey everyone, wanted to share something that happened at my LGS last weekend and get some opinions, because it turned into a way bigger deal than I expected. The store near me ran a small Commander tournament. Pretty low stakes, winner got a couple of Strixhaven collector booster packs. They didn't set any power brackets or Rule Zero expectations." I know, a couple of...
That's low stakes. Collector boosters
so I know,
are low stakes?
They're $50 a pop, man. That's not low stakes.
Like, you get like $1,000+ card there. Like,
I'm sitting here like I was expecting play boosters, my man.
Yeah, no.
like that's low stakes. Collector boosters not low stakes here.
They continue. They didn't set any power brackets or Rule Zero expectations at all. Just, quote, follow the ban list and play what you want. So I brought my Jodah the Unifier deck. For context, it started as a casual Legends build, but I've been tuning it for months. It's not CEDH, but it is very consistent. Lots of ramp, efficient Legends, some protection, and it can spiral fast if Jodah sticks. Hey Ryuzio, side note, you've just explained every single Jodah the Unifier deck, buddy. They all do that.
Yeah, literally.
They also say that they'll share the deck list in case we're interested in seeing it. So then he goes on to the rounds and how they went. First round, everything seemed fine. I actually won a couple of the early games, and the people I beat were totally chill about it. They agreed the deck was strong, but didn't seem bothered. One of them even joked that they had no idea how I won, given that, on paper, my list is basically a, quote, bracket 3 deck with maybe one extra game changer thrown in. Which honestly made this whole thing feel a bit ironic. Second round is where things went sideways. I ended up in a pod with 2 newer players and 1 more experienced one. Game starts pretty normal, but I had a strong opener, ramp into Jodah early, untap, start casting Legends, and hitting more off the trigger. By around turn 5 or 6, I had a pretty overwhelming board. Nothing infinite, but enough value and pressure that the game was basically locked. That's when the mood at the table shifted. One of the newer players got visibly frustrated and said something along the lines of, quote, "This is why people hate playing against these kinds of decks." The other one agreed and mentioned that they thought that this was supposed to be more casual since the store doesn't do brackets. The experienced player kind of shrugged and said, quote, "They didn't say that though." After the game, it turned into a bit of an argument. Not yelling or anything, but definitely tense. The newer players felt like bringing a deck like that to a small LGS event was overkill, and discouraged people from coming back. I pushed back a bit, saying the store explicitly said no restrictions beyond the ban list, and it was a tournament with prizes. The experienced player backed me up, basically saying if there are prizes on the line, people should expect stronger decks. What makes it weirder is I didn't even win the tournament. I ended up getting knocked out later, and the person who took down the whole thing was playing VV, which seemed just as strong, if not stronger, than what I was doing. Still, the vibe was off for the rest of the event, and I honestly felt kind of bad, even though I didn't think I broke any rules. So now I'm stuck wondering, was I out of line for bringing a tuned Jodah the Unifier deck to that kind of event, or is this just an unavoidable clash when a store doesn't define power levels? Curious how others see it, especially if you've been in similar situations. Hey Ryuzio, I don't know if you heard our last podcast about this, but dude, you're not in the wrong here, man.
Zack,
let me
hit him with your line.
Hit him with it, Zack.
What's my line? Oh no!
The line about prizes. Your line about prizes.
If there's prize support, you should be playing to win.
Yeah.
Is that my line? Did I say that right?
Sure is now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Nice.
Win works slightly differently, but that's the gist.
There are so many parts of this I want to comment on, so let's start from the top.
Wait. I want to go first.
Go for it.
Okay.
Let me pull out my pump so I can reflate you, Ryuzio, because you are not in the wrong here, all right?
No, dude, you're fine.
Absolutely not. If anything, they should be saying thank you for not playing just to win the game ASAP. Like, Jodah's pretty interactable with. Like, you can kill Jodah and it doesn't do as much, like, compared to like a CDH deck specifically, or like a Magda or something, right? Like Jodah is a little bit slower than what other decks could do. It's still scary, still powerful, still does a lot of bullshit, but
Oh, yeah.
it's not as terrible as like something else that they could be playing in the competitive environment. So honestly, kudos to you in the first place for playing Jodah.
Right.
I will say I'm looking at this deck list now. This is awesome. This deck looks really
This is a relatively
fun.
chill Jodah list.
It's a basic, very straightforward Jodah deck. He does have 4 game changers, right? Rhystic, Smothering, Vampiric Tutor, and Cyclonic Rift. So, he does have 4, so it's technically a bracket 4 deck by the strictest sense of the rules. But I don't see anything like crazy overpowered here. He's got his fetch lands, he's got basics, he's got, shock lands. He's got some really good enchantments. He's got really good legends like Lightning Army of One, Selvala Heart of the Wilds, and some really good support pieces that give permanents, legendary permanents, Ward 2, and other effects. It's a strong deck.
There's also the fun sub-theme of mostly human.
Yes.
Like a really good chunk of the legendary creatures are human, so you get some of those legendary human synergies.
Yeah. They even have a Najeela in there, man.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
This is sweet. It's a sweet deck. Starting from the top of what happened here and what went wrong. The tournament not setting a power bracket or rule 0 expectations for this tournament. Look, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting a tournament that's just going to run and bring what you want to bring, right? But you must know when you do that, there will be complaints about power level. Because some people are going to say, oh, I have a chance to bring my casual Surek Dragonclaw deck and try to win a couple prizes with it. And then there's other people who are going to say, oh, I can just sweep a tournament with Rogsai and get like 3 collector packs out of it. Deal. I'm in. So you have to understand that there's going to be some feel bads when you run a tournament that does not have any expectations as far as power level goes. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's just not going to work. But like also collector boosters as a prize.
That's not a small prize, dude. For a basic local tiny just the store tournament, collector booster packs. He says a couple of Strixhaven collector packs. Does that mean 2? Does that mean 4? Is that half a box? Is that 6 of them?
4 is a box, right? Like, I mean,
no, there's 12 to a box. 12. You get 4 in a box when it's a Masters set and Wizards really want to milk you.
Masters. Yeah, that one was dumb. No, so I would assume that we'll go by the standard definition of couple and have it be 2, maybe 3.
Right.
And even that's $100 right there.
Yeah.
So
with the opportunity of pulling like $1,000 card. Like,
yeah, or more.
Multiple opportunities
realistically,
to pull a $1,000 card. Because Force is going for over 1,000 now.
Just crazy. Yeah. Don't do it, guys.
Note for the tournament organizing people, make sure you actually have like rules and stuff set out. Don't have an open field, and if you do have an open field, make sure you have something at the start of the tournament or as people are signing up that you're going, hey guys, we don't have a limit. You are going to face strong decks. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's like on Tuesdays,
people will play to win.
Yeah. On Tuesdays when I judge for Commander, Phoenix Fire just switched locations, and now they have a high power and a low power. Bracket 3 and below, that's a hard and fast rule for the low power. And then the higher bracket, I told them, hey, you're usually playing 4s and 5s here, but if you want to play a 1 in this thing, go for it. You can do what you
stop
want.
You.
Yeah.
But you are facing this power level. This is what's going on. And having that be very clear helps get rid of feel bads.
Do not be surprised when someone wins with a Thassa's Oracle Demonic Consultation. Like,
on turn 3.
Be ready for that. I don't know. It's just, I don't understand. Like, it's already a push to have CDH even be a thing, right? Like you're playing a 4-player format that really shouldn't work in a competitive environment, and sometimes it really doesn't work. like at all. But then you're pushing it into casual gameplay being competitive, and that's just making it even worse.
Yeah.
And like now you're having, hey, play your best deck, but some people aren't going to be playing their best deck. But there's
Yeah.
still
Right.
like pretty decent prizing support. So like why wouldn't you want to play your best deck? Or why wouldn't you want to just have the strongest cards?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like why do that and not just make it a way that everyone has an opportunity to win? Like
Yeah.
have a raffle of some kind or some way that it's not like based on gameplay, so that everyone has an enjoyable time playing while still having the opportunity to win prizes, or do like a raffle or something
Yeah.
of some kind of like where you can buy extra entries or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like the gameplay itself shouldn't be competitive unless it's supposed to be competitive and people
Yeah.
are expecting that.
I think we have talked this to death, this idea of please stop making undefined power level tournaments at your local game stores. Don't do it. So I want to
keep talking
focus
it to
a
death
lot.
because it's not going to stop.
Wait, no, we'll keep talking it every time it comes up because I know these are just going to keep happening, right? But I also want to talk about the pod dynamics of that pod where everything went wrong, of the two new players and the experienced players, your opponents. Because the two new players are like, hey man, this seems dumb. I don't like playing against these kind of decks, so why am I playing against it in a tournament? I thought this tournament was supposed to be casual, and the experienced player just says, they didn't say it was casual. At no point in this tournament did they say this was going to be a casual tournament, and kind of flipped it back on the two newer players who to tell them like, hey, this is on you. This is on you, and it is your fault that you were not expecting to play against powerful decks. Jodah the Unifier is not a CEDH deck, like not a top meta one.
No.
It's good, don't get me wrong. It's a very good bracket 4 deck. It is not a CEDH deck in the top meta. Yep. And so this experienced player is somebody who I feel has probably had CEDH experience or other tournament experience. And they understand that, well, by the rules of the tournament, this is fine. And so is yours. So you cannot complain because you've signed up for a competitive tournament. And I really appreciate this experienced player basically holding the line with Ryuzio here and saying, no, Ryuzio's not in the wrong. He's doing what he wanted to do under the rules of the tournament. He's fine. You guys are in the wrong here.
And that's exactly what you should expect, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's a bracket 2 only deck like list, like but it's a competitive environment, I'm gonna build the best bracket 2 deck I can build within the confines of baby. Bracket 2. Like yeah, like there was we've talked about the guy who did the bracket 1 quotation marks like Kodama combo deck, and it's like technically it's a 1, but like it's still a combo deck and it's still winning pretty consistently. But like if that's your restrictions on a tournament, why wouldn't you play to the best of your ability for that tournament? Especially when there's prize support.
I love that this other player was willing to back you up, Ryuzio. I love that they were there to say, no, you guys should have been prepared for this. This isn't his fault. And he didn't even win the tournament, which is rough. Like, I'm sure you tried your best, Ryuzio, but VV is insane. So don't feel bad there. VV is one of the top 15 commander decks, CEDH decks. So don't feel bad there. Were you out of line?
VV is pretty good against casual decks too. So
were you out of line for bringing a tuned Jodah the Unifier deck? No, absolutely not. You're totally fine. You are not out of line for bringing a tuned Jodah the Unifier deck. This is, as you said, just an unavoidable clash when a store does not define power levels. You're fine, dude.
I'm gonna be real with you. This is probably like the perfect place for a Jodah deck, to be honest.
Oh yeah, an undefined,
this is like the perfect area for him.
Yeah, an undefined mix of casual and competitive. I feel like your Jodah deck's actually going to do really well. And again, looking at this deck list, it looks so cool, dude. I would love to see this deck in action, and I would love to play it too. Like I might copy this for one of our tabletop sim nights because this looks super fun.
This guy's on Arvad the Cursed, man. That card's cool.
What other decks does this guy have on? I'm gonna follow him on Moxfield. And I'm going to look at his other decks. He has Ureni, Tival, Titus, and Turtle Power as his other decks listed.
True turtle power.
True turtle power, my bad.
No fake turtle power here.
It's literally just the deck list, I think. I don't know if he's adjusted it whatsoever.
It's true turtle power, so it's definitely
it's got a Cyclonic Rift in it, so yeah, it's probably got some adjustments in it.
This guy likes Cyclonic Rift, I guess, yeah.
It's a solid card.
Yeah, it is true.
That's weird. His Moxfield user tag is Ryzio, R-Y-Z-I-O, but his Reddit is Ryuzio.
It was already taken on Reddit. It was already taken.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
My account name is Ryuzio, so.
Oh, come on, man. Just let him have it.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I took it before you could get it.
Anyway, you're fine, Ryuzio.
It's like domain names. I just get as many as I can before, and then hope like some company comes up and needs it. So
yeah. And they go, I'll give you money, and you go, cool.
Yeah,
like, cool.
Give me money.
Here's your username for Reddit.
Yep. I think this needs to be a PSA to all store workers and LGS tournament organizers. If you want to do a Commander tournament, you need to do one of two things: hard cutoff bracket limitations if it is going to be a specific bracket tournament. If you are saying, I want to make a bracket 2 tournament, you need to be the one to search through every submitted deck list to make sure every deck list has no game changers in it. And that's all you can do, because also people can still bring in, quote, early game combos and still win. It's so difficult to do that. But if you're going to do it, you need to do the work to ensure and enforce to the best of your ability they are playing the correct bracketed decks. The other option you have is tell everyone that you are not putting a bracket restriction on this tournament and therefore need to be prepared if their deck is not enough to compete. Okay? It's like having a literal open tennis tournament and you show up thinking that, you're an amateur player, but you like playing with your friends, and you do pretty well in singles against your friends. But then...
I played tennis before.
But then Venus and Serena Williams show up, and you throw a hissy fit. You can't do that, dude. It was an open tournament. If they wanted to come show up and play, they can. Just be grateful that you even got to play against those tennis legends. All right?
Now, Ryuzio, we're not saying you're the Serena Williams.
I am, dude.
Magic, but
I am, dude. Ryuzio is clearly the Serena Williams of their LGS.
That's pretty sick, though.
That's pretty sick. All right, our last question.
Wait.
What?
No, I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
What are your guys' thoughts on teams in a tournament setting? So like CDH, but like you have 4 players on a team, and basically your team scoring is what matters more so.
That is an interesting setup that I would need a lot of time to consider.
I like the idea,
but it seems like it'd be interesting.
I like the idea with the caveat of we're going to do some fudging the tables to make sure no team members are at the same table
until like round 3 or 4.
No.
Yeah,
like
every team would be against another team. Like each team has one player in every pod, I would think.
Right.
And then
or
like the finals or like the top 16 would be whatever player each team chooses or something. I don't know how that would work, but
I think you just have separate brackets.
Yeah.
You have 4 different tournaments running side by side.
My idea was you just run like a set number of Swiss rounds, right? Each team has 4 players. You can have as many teams as you want fits in, but you have a set number of Swiss rounds. And then after those Swiss rounds, the teams who have the four teams with the highest amount of points move into the finals. And then the 4 players on those teams with the highest performances are the final pod.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So you can guarantee there's no collusion by making sure that no 2 people from the same team are in the same pod. And if that would happen because of like a team dropping or whatever, or a single player from a team dropping, you instead give everybody in that round like a draw. Like a 1-point draw for that round instead of making them play it out. If like there's 2 players in that drawing pod, then that team gets 1 point instead of 2, right? But you just have systems set up to make sure no teams can collude, and then you try it out. I think it'd be interesting.
I think I'd also want a restriction of like you can't play the same deck. Like your team can't play the same deck. So like you couldn't have 2 blue farms. You couldn't have 2.
That'd be interesting.
Winogas. Like each player everyone has to have their own separate deck.
They have to have a unique commander.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's as far as I'd want to go for a CDH tournament. If it was a casual tournament, it could be fun to do a 4-man team where you can't share any non-land cards with the same name.
That would be sick, actually.
All of your decks have to have unique cards aside from lands. I'm not going to do that to you.
Yeah.
As somebody who's built stuff that is unique, that would be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. No, that sounds super fun, actually.
One person can have fetch lands.
Exactly. It's like, you get this fetch land, you get this one using. Although, you could do that, and then you just have to be like, okay, well, I guess I'm playing, you're playing playing
blue,
green, white, and then you're playing mono black. Like,
and I'm playing landfall because then I can use all the fetch lands.
Yeah, that could be an interesting
one. So you could make it work. I think it, in a lot of ways, it could be more fun to do as a non-CDH with some fun.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
because like, do you put all the good cards in one person's deck and just hope they sweep every game they play, or like do you just hope for the best to like spread it out, or
I don't know.
How do you decide?
That's
like only one person gets Soul Ring. Only one person gets
right. Yeah, that's kind of why I want to. I
removal
the Highlander Gauntlet.
Yeah, that would be really interesting to try. We have time for the last question, I think, because I think it should be pretty quick, unless you guys have some end step stuff that is going to take a while. Whoa, what?
No.
Wait, what? What? Who said that?
Okay, let's move on to our final question then. This question comes from the r/EDH subreddit. The user Decree324 asks, how much warning about your turn or combos do you give your pod? They say, I'm getting into bracket 4 decks and wanted to know how much warning to give my pod about certain things. For example, player to the right of me is about to pass their turn to me. I control Voice of Victory. Would you warn the table something like, quote, you're about to not be able to cast spells on my turn because of my Voice of Victory? Or, I control Forensic Gadgeteer and Basalt Monolith. I can demonstrate a loop and make infinite colorless mana. Would you let them know, you've got to destroy one of these 2 things when I activate the Basalt ability, not after it's resolved. I know this is a pod-by-pod personal preference, depends on the stakes sort of thing. But I also know that boards are big and confusing and not everyone can pay attention to everything that's going on out there. Just curious about other people's practices with this sort of thing. So, Decree, I think it is very much, for me personally, I'm going to say it's very much dependent on the pod I'm in and the situation I'm in. There's definitely a scale where if I'm at a CEDH table, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to shut my mouth and just play my cards and activate abilities. If they can't figure out where or when to activate to stop me, that's their fault, man. I'm going to keep playing. If I'm in a casual pod, though, and I'm playing with friends or I'm playing with new players, that's when I might try to remind players, oh, just so you know, I am going to go into my turn with the Grand Abolisher in play. I know you have some, clue tokens. Did you want to pop those on this player's end step so you don't have to, lose the opportunity to do it on my turn, right? It very much is pod dependent. And I'm okay to tell the casual pods I play with if a combo is coming.
Yeah, realistically, it's up to you as a player. How nice do you want to be?
Yeah.
How much of a good person do you feel like you are in that day? Did you walk on the sidewalk and pick up a flower? Maybe a butterfly flew past your face, and you're like, what a day to be a nice person. And boom, you're just a dick to everyone you meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with Josh wholeheartedly on this, because if I am playing with my buddies and, we're having a little slightly more serious game, I ain't going to tell you nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, figure it out. If I'm playing with a new player, I'm like, oh, you're new to Magic. You might not know this. So I'll announce more stuff.
I don't know. Most cards do.
Yeah. If I'm playing in a pod where I know somebody's playing a bracket 4 deck and other people are playing bracket 2s or 3s, I'm going to be pointing out stuff the bracket 4 deck's doing, and probably some of my own stuff too, so that way they can kind of know what's going on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in CDH environment, I will 100% be pointing out things like, this guy does have a Grand Abolisher, so if it goes back to their turn, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to try to win on their turn. Like, we should be aware of that.
Oh, yeah.
Point out your opponent's combos always.
Yeah.
The
Always.
higher we go up, the more I point out yours, the less I point out mine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a seesaw. Statements.
Yeah.
I'm going to point out yours all the time. That's just how I roll.
Hey.
I want to win.
Very nice.
In a high-stakes game, I'm
I'm
not telling you how it works. I'm not telling you how Tayam works. I'll tell you the game actions that are happening, but I'm not going to tell you what they're going to lead to.
True.
Not until I'm ready to demonstrate a loop and win the game.
I think because it is bracket 4, it really depends on who you're playing with. Bracket 4, typically, you're not going to want to point out your own combos or let people know anything.
Yeah.
Because people are expecting higher power gameplay, stronger decks, combos.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they should be aware of it unless they're newer to Magic. And so...
Yeah. Well, it's also like CDH is like you're kind of expected to have a higher competency level with the game of Magic the Gathering at that kind of play level.
I think so. In bracket 4, the Howling Salt Mine, infamous flubber haters, have a term for bracket 4 games. They just call it trash magic because it's where a lot of the most degenerate combos and craziest stuff that you're going to see is going to happen. Because CDH is efficient, powerful stuff. Bracket 4 is just where you get the guy who's going to copy Smothering Tithe 16 times and then cast a Windfall.
That's true.
It's gross nonsense that's about to happen. And I think it can also have a sort of feeling with your friends like you're playing Minecraft on creative mode or turning on cheats or playing Halo in Forge mode, where you're just doing the dumbest stuff you can and trying it out. So it very much depends on your friend group. If you are the kind of person who on Halo Reach Forge, if you are the one who spawned in the grid and didn't warn your buddies that you were about to flip the grid and move it 1 million times per second, then you're not going to be the kind of guy who's about to warn the table, oh, don't cast Windfall, I have 16 Nekusars in play.
Or like, hey, I have an Ogre's Bowmaster that I'm going to copy 3 times.
So it really depends on the people you're playing with. But no, bracket 4 is truly where some of the dumbest stuff that Commander is meant for can happen. So just...
It's not quite good enough for CDH, but way too good for everything else.
It's so fun, man. So yeah, definitely talk it over with your pod. If it's a pod that you are consistently playing with, talk with them, ask them, do you guys feel it's kind of rude to just combo off and win? Or do you want some warning? Or are you just cool if I just go for it, right? It's a pod by pod question. If they like to know what's happening before it happens, that's fine, as long as there's never any stakes. If they don't care, just go for it, man. Just play your combos, and if they didn't pay attention because they're 3 beers down, that's their fault.
They're on their phone, scrolling through memes.
Oh, dude, if they're on their phone, I'm not even going to announce any of my actions until they put their phone down. I'm just going to silently play cards, and then I'm going to say, pass my turn, and then they're going to look and be like, hey, what happened? No, dude, you were on your phone. Connect with the game.
I'm gonna announce my stuff, but I'm not going to go out of my way to get their attention.
Yeah, to make sure that they knew what I played.
I'm playing this.
I cast this, and I pass.
I'm swinging with these.
Repeat offenders, I'm not announcing anything. I'm sorry. I've played with too many people who just stay on their phones all game, and I'm not announcing anything. They had their chance. They need to learn.
But I'm also not punishing the other 2 players.
Dude, if you're playing Arena while we're playing Commander, get out.
I'm just double dipping. What do you want?
No. 1 game apiece.
You can't double dip chips. I can't double dip Magic. What can I double dip?
Concede here or concede on Arena.
On a 30-minute combo turn, I'm gonna bust out Arena, okay? I'll get a couple games in by the time you're done. It's fine.
I remember a famous podcast by the name of Manabonded saying that I could pull out my Steam Deck and start playing on that. Okay, so I'm taking their advice and I'm going to do that.
That is exclusive to Storm. If they're doing something other than Storm, then you have to sit there and pay attention.
So, funnily enough, it was a massive thing when we used to go play at a buddy's house, and it was, have food and chill Commander, where basically everybody brought their Switch, and it's like, oh, somebody's taking a long turn, bust out the Switch, and it was basically just us saying, I'm F4ing, do what you want. I don't have any interaction.
What if, while playing Commander, you also played Mario Kart, but while it's your turn, you can't drive? Or not? No, while it is your turn, you're able to drive. No. I don't know.
No.
How does this work?
You play it like a drunk Mario Kart that people will play.
Yeah.
Where you have to finish like X amount of beers before the race ends, but you can't drink and drive. While you're drinking a beer, you cannot touch your remote. And as soon as the beer is done, you start driving. Do it like that.
Yeah.
But instead it's Mario Kart. When it's your turn, you can't touch the remote. You just have to play. And everybody else is driving ahead of you.
You're like, play a land pass. The next person's like, what?
You learn quick what people care about more.
Yeah.
Do they care more about the cart or the commander?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you could probably do it with Commander because it's pretty chill.
Yeah,
So.
it'd be so fun, dude. I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Back to Decree, though. Honestly, I would match everyone else's vibes too. If somebody else points out their combo, I'm gonna point out my combo. Like,
yeah,
I would just match their vibes.
It's a good call to make. All right, well, let's get over here into the end step where we're going to talk about anything and everything we're doing outside of the world of Magic. You guys got any fun stuff that happened? I know I had kind of a busy weekend and I had a lot happen, but what about for you guys? What did you guys get up to?
Wait. What if? So back to the Mario Kart thing. What if you could only play the Mario Kart with your feet? Like you have to use your feet to drive the car.
Well, no, because then I can't.
Are you bringing your own controllers
while playing Magic?
Yeah, no, you're not touching my Switch. First of all, if anybody's feet's touching my Switch, it's me. But
you can't use your hands. You can't use your hands. You have to use like your elbows or something.
Yeah, no, because then it still makes it tricky because like you can't.
That's the point.
Use items.
It's supposed to be tricky.
You can't really use items.
Tricky. Yeah, you could. You just gotta.
Be careful.
I don't know, man. No, I think it's better if you just don't play on your turn. Don't race on your turn.
If someone out there figures out how to play Mario Kart Commander, let me know in the comments.
I had a friend.
I want it to be a thing.
I had a friend who swore that he had another friend who, back in the Xbox 360 days of Call of Duty, his friend would play his Xbox one-handed. He would put the controller on the ground and use one hand to control everything. His other hand worked. He would just do that for fun and did fairly well from what I heard.
I just realized something. Zach, I think I found a show that you're secretly a fan of. I'm gonna send a clip. Clip in the clip in the chat.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh! 5DS. All right, yeah.
Yeah. Talking about racing and card games.
Yeah. Imagine playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On a car.
Oh no.
On a motorcycle on a racetrack where what you do depends. And then for some reason you slow down your speed enough to get behind them and basically make them lap you. Or
guys, this is pretty much Aether Drift.
Yeah.
What Aether Drift should have been. All right. Come on, Sean, with a dual disc playing against an opponent in Magic on the back of a motorcycle.
I wanted speed to be a thing that just keeps going. No max
speed. Why are there limits? Why are there limits on speed? Who designed that?
You do things that increase your speed. You don't punch people to get faster. You just play a card, speed increase.
What if you got to like 10 speed and then you unlock Deja Vu?
I feel like we've talked about that before.
We have talked about the gripes with max speed.
And Deja Vu. Deja Vu.
Yep.
Guys, I think we talked about Deja Vu before.
I think we have talked about Deja Vu before.
We're becoming
like, what
recursive.
If you got to like 10 speed and you like unlock Deja Vu or something?
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. What benefit do you think that would give you?
Yeah, Aether Drift. I don't know, that speed mechanic in Aether Drift was just it could have been better, you know? I wish there was no top end to the speed counter, you know?
Exactly.
I want Chandra with a dual disc on the back of a motorcycle dueling another person for Aether Drift. Why wasn't that a thing?
It should have been.
Man, that sounded way better.
Guys, what if like when you hit 10 speed?
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
You could only hit Deja Vu so many times before it's like, no more, Zack.
Before you hit Nirvana.
Right. Anyway.
Before you start playing Redemption and see God.
I got a question for you guys. I got my two brother-in-laws into a game this weekend. Have you guys played Risk of Rain 2?
Yes, we have.
No.
Okay.
No, just kidding. Yes, I have.
Okay. I might have talked about it on the podcast before. It is a third-person shooter roguelike where you choose a character that has abilities and you kill enemies to get gold. The gold can be used to open chests across the map. Those chests can have items. You can use the items to do Yeah, something like that. But definitely different. You can use the items to do things like
It's exactly like that,
your
but
attack
completely
speed.
different.
Yeah, you can affect your attack speed. You can affect your damage to high health enemies. You can do it so if you kill an enemy, they explode in fire, and just combine a bunch of crazy effects and crazy items to make this the most overpowered character possible. And we were free Saturday night, and or was it Sunday night, I think, and me and my brother-in-laws were like, hey, let's play some Risk of Rain 2. And they're like, we haven't really played it. And I'm like, no worries. We are all in the same Steam family and we have enough copies. So we played. And it's a lot of fun, especially with some friends, to really get the monster spawns up, to really get this craziness happening during the end of each round. It's an old game, but it's a great game. Still getting some. It's even got some new DLC coming out soon. Check it out if you're a fan of roguelikes. It is.
Yeah, you'll love it.
It's a slow start for sure, but once you get into it and what you can do with it, you can have a lot of fun. Highly recommend Slay the Spire. Or not, also Slay the Spire 2, but Risk of Rain 2. Man, I've got too many roguelikes on the brain.
Why is everything a 2?
Also played Balatro, I guess, while on the road, so that was great.
Balatro 2? Balatro 2?
Not yet. Dude, we haven't even gotten a big
probably.
update yet for Balatro, besides a couple, like, custom card backs.
There's a pretty good chance there's going to be a 2 for that because of how popular it is.
Yeah, I think the creator said
100%.
he's not going to do a 2 yet, but he has ideas for more Jokers and stuff he's going to add. So
Nice.
someday
We're
that'll
going to
show
get
up.
Stardew Valley 2 before we get Balatro 2.
Dude, we're going to get
I don't
GTA
know,
6
man.
before we get Balatro 2.
I've seen
Maybe chocolate,
the
the
creator
chocolate
of Stardew
Hauntier,
Valley.
right?
Yeah.
Stardew Valley, that creator on a podcast was straight up like, was asked, why don't you make a second one? He's like, man,
Why
I don't
make a
really
second one
wanna.
when I got everything here? And I could just add more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep adding more. It's fine.
He's working on another game, like a haunted chocolatier or something like that. But
Yeah,
that's basically Stardew Valley 2 in my mind.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What was it? There was there was all that, I don't want to say controversy because it was really way less impactful than that, but the developers of Peak, the climbing with your friends game, climbing the mountain with your friends game,
I remember that. That's
they,
the most Baby No Money.
They got some flack online because people were saying, man, it's been a while since we've had a real update with a lot of content. And one of the devs online was like, hey, man, more content for this game is a privilege, not a right, basically.
Right.
And they did a little bit of, PR fire extinguishing, but what it basically boiled down to was these guys telling their community, look, we like Peak, we like developing Peak. The goal is not for Peak to become our end-all be-all game. This is not a live service game. This is not a game where you will get content forever. This is a game that we will work on until we are no longer having fun working on it or no longer have new ideas to work on it. Once we're out of ideas and once we're done with it, we're going to step away and we're going to work on something else because that's how we work as a studio. That's how we avoid burnout. That's how we avoid, fatigue within our games, is we're going to make it until we're no longer having fun with it and then we're going to stop. And if you get more content on a faster pace, that means we're having a lot of fun making stuff for it. But if you don't get content for a while, maybe we're working on something big, maybe we're just working on something else. And I think it's such a healthy take for a studio to have, to basically tell their fans who just expect and feel like they're owed so much content to just say, no, screw you. We're going to do it at our own pace and how we feel.
It's also like, why are people expecting so much free content now?
Yeah.
Like, you bought a game, you got the game, unless they told you more content's coming.
What was it?
Maybe just enjoy the game.
I think the YouTuber and streamer Northern Lion made a rant that he said, you have to understand that the price you pay for games is not fair. It is not. Mm-hmm. Because if the price of games were fair, the gunball games of FIFA, Madden, and Call of Duty would cost you $30 every year because that's about how much effort it takes to play and that's about how much enjoyment most people will get out of it, right? Whereas games like Slay the Spire 1 and 2, Balatro, would cost you thousands of dollars because of the amount of content and enjoyment you can get from that game.
Right. Oh
Game
man.
pricing
And
is
stuff like
not fair.
Minecraft.
Oh my gosh, Minecraft would be like, you couldn't buy it unless you were a
You
one
would not be able to
percenter.
buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Games, those survival sandbox games
Yeah.
would just be out of reach for the average person. Game prices are not fair, but you have
It's
to.
okay for things to be themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like
Right.
Cyberpunk, the anime, or Cyberpunk Edgerunners, like it was
Mhm.
only made to be one season, and that's all they are doing is one season of it. That's
Yeah.
the whole story. They told it.
Thank goodness.
People want more.
No.
I want more, but that's the whole story, and that's what
Until
like
the
peak is. Like it should
Yeah.
be.
Give-
It's like you should
Give
have.
me
That's
a
okay.
different one.
You don't need more. Like they're doing
Right.
more stories in Cyberpunk, but they're not going to continue that story.
yeah,
Right.
That was the story. They told it, and that's done.
and I think
And
that's
that's-
such a
I think
healthy
there's
move
nothing
for a
wrong with
studio.
that.
That's also what,
Yeah.
and this is maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but for anybody who watches the children's show Bluey, it was insanely popular, but they only did
10 out of
3
10 show.
seasons.
Please
Yeah,
watch Bluey.
10 out of
Please
10.
watch
Dude,
Bluey.
I am a grown man, and there are episodes
Great
in there
life
that make me
lessons.
tear up because they put so much in there that's so great for adults to watch too.
Wizards give me a Bluey secret lair right now.
Oh, I'd buy it so
Oh, that'd
fast.
be sick.
What if that's the next
That would be so good.
children's extra life secret lair is Bluey cards?
Oh, that'd be so
That would
good,
be
actually.
so-
Though
I'd do
So
it.
good.
Rent
Would
it.
sell out so quick.
It would be
They
so
have My
good.
Little Pony, so like it would
Yeah.
doesn't even feel that far off. Like,
Anyway,
that'd be so good.
the creator of Bluey made 3 seasons and said that's where I want to stop, because if I can't make episodes and seasons as good as season 1, I won't do it again. He said, I have an idea for a movie, and they're working on a Bluey movie, but he's not going to make any more seasons of Bluey because he doesn't feel like he can make it up to par with what he wants.
With what he already had.
And there are other authors out there and story writers who write this great story and then step away from it because they're like, this is a story I wanted to tell. I have told it now. If I have another great story for this world, I'll put it there. Or more stories of these characters, I'll write it. But right now, I want to leave it there. And I think we need to be more okay with creative people making that decision and everyone else saying, yes, we are okay with this.
That's fair. To wrap it up
Semantically.
for our podcast here, final question: what color would Bluey play a commander deck in? Like, what
Green.
would be their favorite commander deck?
Green. Bluey just wants Big Stompy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Muffin is the discard player.
Muffin is the chaos player.
Muffin's running
It's like, I don't know what's happening, but nobody else does either, so it's okay.
Muffin's
Yeah.
resolving
Muffin's the one
16
that's gonna go,
instances
"All right,
of
Here's the
Scrambleverse.
stuff. We can ski."
Yep.
And screeching the whole time.
Yeah.
Muffin
Just
is the,
everything's crap up.
Muffin is the
Although-
worst player at your LGS.
Yeah.
Literally, though.
I did have another random thing that we could talk about afterwards if we want. But
Oh, let's talk about it right now.
okay. Did you guys hear about
No.
my personal favorite kid show movie that
Caillou?
had some stuff? Yes. Caillou was the best.
Please don't say Caillou. Caillou's the worst, actually. Caillou actually makes kids act out more because they
Yeah,
see
no.
Caillou acting out.
No, Caillou is bad. No, my favorite kid show, we talked about before when the Magic set came out, is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
Yes.
This
Yes.
last week, unfortunately,
The movie.
animated movie got leaked.
I'm sad about
And I am very sad and I'm very mad because I really want to see this movie in theaters.
I know. It's not going on theaters
Like-
at all, though.
that. Yeah.
Right. And
It's just streaming to Paramount.
I think it's so dumb because the Avatar fan base is such a loyal
would've
fan
showed
base
up.
that they would sell tickets.
Yeah.
And
they
they're
would've-
old
They
enough
absolutely would
now.
have.
Yeah, they're old enough now that they'd bring their kids because they probably showed the show to their kids.
100%.
It has. I love Avatar because it's got what I think is the best representation of somebody with disabilities in media. It's got people overcoming false ideas about how the world works and how people are. Like Sokka thinking that he needs to be a man and only men can protect people, and then he gets that no. everybody
It's
has
quite
to
literally
make it
knocked
to the
down
table.
a peg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like women can be warriors too. And like
Yeah.
Suki, which is
And
one
they
of
can
his
kick
main
my
love
butt.
interests.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a badass and like kicks his butt. Like
Yeah. I love
and
the
it kind of
redemption
shows him and
arc.
shows growth.
Right?
I
Zuko's
love
redemption arc.
Yeah, any show that is willing to say that, people who do bad things are not always bad people, and sometimes they can and they can change, right? Zuko can change. He was terrible. He kidnapped and imprisoned the Avatar. He did a bunch of terrible things, but ultimately he realized that he was on the wrong side and he wanted to help people again. And not only did he change and want to help, other people let him change and accepted his change and trusted him. That's a much bigger part of redemption arc stories that we don't talk about, is how other people react when people show true remorse and a true change of character.
Well, and then also on top of that, it shows that even when you try to change, there's going to be work that you have to put in order to regain
To
trust
show it.
with people that you've broke it with.
Yeah, you can't
Because
just say, I'm sorry.
Aang's like, okay, we're cool. And Katar's like, nah, we ain't cool yet.
Like, whoa.
You gotta prove yourself.
Yeah.
This
Step
guy
out
tried
of
to kill
line,
us.
I'll deal with you.
This guy hired a guy that can blow things up with his mind. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want from me?
Sparky,
I think
Sparky Boom Man.
Characters should be flawed because we are flawed.
Right?
Like, I know that I'm the world's best Magic player, but I'm also humble. So like, it balances out.
Yeah.
So
it balances out.
yeah.
We really
So
need
like,
to...
characters need to be flawed.
Yeah.
Right?
Good rant.
I could go on so long about all the stuff in there. Because like you even got like Sokka, who is a goofball, but also on the other side, he's really smart.
Oh,
he's really creative.
Really brilliant.
He's a war tactician. Like, he's smart. Yeah.
He's a warrior, but he also like took up painting.
Yeah, and that's like, don't judge a book by cover. There's just so many great life lessons, and that's why it came to mind because we were talking about Bluey, and I'm like, oh man, another great kids show.
Absolutely,
some good lessons. Okay, but
Yep.
like, imagine being a non-bender in a bending world. That would suck.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, no, thank you.
Yeah.
You're telling me there's people that can move rocks with their arms, and I'm over here just me.
Yep.
Cool.
If I'm in the time frame of Qatar or blah 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 Korra, I don't think it's quite as bad because you can learn, if you really want to. At that point, you could learn chi blocking. Like, it's not a really rare thing. You can also get basically taser gloves.
I feel like they weren't that far off of guns either, and like and a firebender can look all impressive, but against an AK-47, it's an equal match there, buddy.
Yeah, Joker special attack gun.
Exactly.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, so we're gonna move here to the shout out section of our podcast. Where we're gonna tell you that if you have questions for us and you want them answered, if you want to know about some awkward playgroup dynamics that you're not sure how to resolve, if you've got a store that's running a tournament and they didn't tell you what bracket it's gonna be, or if you've just got a question about how some cards interact and what some good direction would be, send them over to us at manabonded@gmail.com. We'll take any and all questions there. We also are on various social media sites. You can always DM us there as well.
Or if you want us to roast your deck, we can do that too.
We will.
Send us your deck list, and we'll tear you a new one.
Send us
the nice people we are.
Send us your buddy's deck list, man. Send us your buddy's deck list, and we'll roast it.
And then we'll come up with lines for you to say when they play certain cards, and then make them feel bad.
Yeah.
If you like the music at the start of the episode, Senior Steve Brown is the one that created that masterpiece for your ears. You can find his music at stevebrownsongs.com. And if you don't want to find his music there, then don't go to that website, because that's where the music is.
Because maybe you want to get some good art. And that good art can be found by the person who makes the art for our show, Shadow Eclopex. His links will be in the description below. You can go get some fun art commission from him. He is open to people wanting some commissions done. So feel free to reach out.
We do have a link tree.
I'm going to be honest. Wait. I'm going to be honest. Like, someone drawing me is like one of the best feelings ever. Like, someone having artistic inspiration because of like me.
That is pretty cool. Even in shark form. Sometimes better
Even
in short form.
Yeah.
Sometimes better in short form.
We do have a link tree for all those social media sites out there, Twitter, Instagram, BlueSky. We're working on a TikTok, I believe. We did record some content, make some content for you over pre-release weekend. Hopefully that's coming out here real quick. We also have a YouTube where all of our podcast episodes go up. So if you have comments or questions for us, those are absolutely reasonable avenues to use. Overall, if you've liked what you've listened to... Yeah, subscribe on YouTube. I'm new to this whole being a YouTuber
comment,
thing.
subscribe.
So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun algorithm things to appease our Google
Wait. Josh, you say like, I'll say comment, and then Nate, you say subscribe.
Oh,
and it'll
okay.
be really cool. In editing, it'll be so sweet. Yeah.
Sick. All right. So go to YouTube and like,
comment,
and subscribe.
Oh, man, that's going to be good.
That's going to be good. That's going to sound great. All right. Yeah, if you are really loving what you're listening to, go do all that and leave us a 5-star review on the podcast app you're listening and a few that you're not using. They really mean a lot to us. It really pushes us up in the algorithm so that other people can find us, discover us, because right now, word of mouth is the strongest way we've got to find new listeners and bring them into the Manabond. So just let us
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Tell your mom.
Tell your family.
Tell your dad.
Tell them all. Tell your opponents.
Tell your dog. Make an account for your dog and then play our Spotify.
Yeah. We'll
they won't know.
We'll happily have everybody we can join us in our
shout out to
adventures.
our dog listeners, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we got for you this week.
If you love your mom, you'll 5-star.
Wow, with the guilt trip there at the end.
Yep. That's what I'm here for.
Well, thank you all for listening, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye-bye. Bye.
So anyway, part of the
I mean some dinner and it's a little spicy.
You could.
I'm dying over here.
You could.
I'm good.
What did you have for dinner before this?
Some bad Thai. I'm still eating it. Don't worry. I'm a professional. All right.
True professional.
Just a little spicy.
Here. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, a little spicy.
Yeah. As you said, an unavoidable.
I don't know what you just said, Jack, because you cut out hardcore.
Yeah.
You are like a robot right now. You were going beep, 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 beep.
The recording should still hold it up, but
don't worry, Josh. I will make sure that the robots don't take over.
Anyway,
good job.
This is actually pretty spicy. Not to derail, but like, whoo, anybody got some milk or something? Like,
yeah, I got some milk. Let me bring it right over.
Thanks, boss.
It'll take me a while because I don't even know where your house is. So
good luck.
I'll bring it to the pit and hopefully we can connect there.
Yeah, just pour it down the supply pipe in the pit. He'll get it.
Yeah. I'll get to it.
Yeah,
he'll get it. He'll just put his mouth over the other end and suck it up as it comes down.
Yep.
Oh,
delicious.
Yep.